guys, we're going to talk about getting into some of the technique and details of what it's all about. So, line building technique. Does anyone know where you start your line building at? What point of the line do you start at? Exit. Actually, you started at the exit. To know where you need to be, you need to know where you're going. So, we started from the exit because that is what puts us onto the straight. So, we start with the exit point, then we go to the clip point, then we look at our throttle control, which will keep us on the line, pull us in or away from that apex. Our turn-in point, we control our corner entry speed going into that turn-in point, and then we think about our braking point. Now, out there, we obviously switch it, but when we are planning our corners and when we go out there and show you the lines, this is how it's been built. But think about the exit point. So it's really easy to mess up your turn-in point and your exit point is blown. There's no making it up, short of chopping a lot of throttle and getting it back under control. So one of the things we suggest to people, mainly our new guys, but even our advanced guys, is try a no brakes exercise where you go in and you go around, do a few laps without using your brakes. Engine braking's fine, you know, taking your and letting your speed settle when you take your hand off the throttle. But what you'll find is when it helps you, it's one less thing you have to keep track of if you're not braking. It's one more thing that you can pay attention. You can find those reference points. You can allow your brain to use that bandwidth to work on something else. You'll also find that you enter corners faster because we tend to over brake. We tend to brake too much because we've scared ourselves or we're focusing on that turn-in point instead of looking through the corner. And everyone's guilty of this. So now, if you go in and you're too hot, by all means, please use your brakes. But the idea is you go in at a slightly slower pace so you're not forced to use your brakes. So if you are behind a group of people and they are irritating you and you don't want to go the pace they are going, or you find them erratic and a little dangerous, you can hot pit at any time. You can hot pit, you can say hi to Warren, you can borrow his shade for 30 seconds and let them get past you. Let them get through sugar and spice, maybe all the way to gut check, and then go back out. Because what it's going to afford you is some open space. It may also allow people to pass and break it up. Don't get frustrated, right? Frustration, one, is not fun. No one really enjoys that. And it leads us to bad choices. So go ahead and let the crowd go by, catch some clean track. It's really common for level 1 riders to come in and say, oh, my hands are hurting. Like they went numb. Like my arms are hurting. You're probably too locked up on the bars. So I suggest to everyone, when you're going down the straights, wiggle your fingers. If you have to pry them off because they've stuck to your grips, you're probably too tense. You're putting a lot of feedback into your suspension, which is not helping. It's a vicious cycle. So just wiggle your fingers, right? It gives your brain a chance to just reset a little bit. Just a little wiggle, and it'll help. It will really help.